Looks like it's moving, yeah?
Yeah, it looks good. All right.
Make sure my buttons are. How many buttons are the right amount of buttons?
You know, that's a
that I
question
have to
we'll
deal
always
with.
ask.
Okay.
It's going to be a technical interview about this. How many buttons works for you, Mr. North?
Exact 4. Next.
So anyways, thank you for finally coming on to the show. This is Cinepressor right now. We finally got the much-demanded interview with Mr. Nolan North, who plays Superboy / Superman in Young Justice.
There you go.
How does it feel speaking to like the worst convention host who's taking that out like a straight year to get this interview?
No, we're not going to start by putting ourselves down. No.
Okay.
It's all positive. That's how it works. It's all positive with the Young Justice world.
That's what we like. That's what we like. And that's how we got the show back, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we did cover in some of the previous interviews on my channel, basically, that all of you auditioned for your individual parts.
Yeah.
Can you please tell me what it was like just learning that Superboy, you're going to play Superboy and you're going to have this relationship with Superman? How did you approach having to do the dual part, and how did you find it at all challenging?
Well, I think the role I auditioned for and was cast in was Superboy, and it was actually kind of a funny story because I was really excited to do it. Kari Payton's a good buddy of mine, and he was doing Aqualad, and then people like Jesse McCartney and Danica. And it just was very exciting to be able to go every week. We're going to do an episode of some show together. And while I was there, they then said, "Oh, by the way, since Superboy is Superman's clone, would you mind being Superman?" And I was like, "Is this a joke?" No, I don't mind being Superman. So, Superboy was just kind of that young kind of voice that just kind of in here, just a little bit of angst. And Superman was just a little bit more mature. Just try to, it should be a very small kind of transition. But ultimately, it's just like a different inflection of my own voice. So, not that difficult.
All right, yeah. One of my actual favorite scenes in the show is during the last episode where you actually play the Tribune as well, and you're basically having a courtroom debate with yourself. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got that voice for the Tribune?
Oh, God. You know what? Most of the time, those voices come through with help from the director and the producers who were there. And with Greg Weisman sitting there, he and I have a pretty good shorthand with some of the different character voices I can do, and he just said, "We want you to let's do this," and that's the thing. We'll play around with different voices, and then ultimately it's Greg's decision. So once he just nods his head, he goes, "Yeah, I like that," and we just go with it. So it's. I'd love to say it's a big, long process, very complicated, but it's not. Normally we just go, "Try this, yes, no, get it, move on."
That's cool. It keeps things organic, right?
It keeps things organic. It also keeps things moving along, because we only have a certain amount of time to get in there and get the show recorded. So you want to make the most of the hours we're in there.
Definitely. So with Superboy, this was a character that was really popular amongst comic fans, but with your portrayal, it really like elevated him to like another level, effectively, right? What do you think are the reasons for his breakout appeal?
Well, I think he's, he's. We think of Superman like the Man of Steel. He's invulnerable, except to the kryptonite, of course. But, Superboy was, but Superman's perfect. And I think Superboy is flawed perfection, if I could put it that way. There's something about it. He still has that teenager, like, trying to figure things out, even though he's basically indestructible. And I think it just spoke to, like, he may look like the big high school jock with the muscles and everything, but he's got issues. He's got anger problems. He's got abandonment issues, and he's just trying to, even though he's a clone of Superman, he was humanized by the fact that he has friends, and he's technically a teenager. Actually, not technically. Technically, he was only a couple days old when he started on the show, but I mean, he still acts like a teenager, and I think there's something kind of an everyman quality about somebody who's extraordinary.
Yeah, and one thing that I think a lot of fans really enjoyed, and actually they brought this up into question,
Okay.
season 2, he basically evolved into this character who's definitely a lot more mature. Like, he eventually became the character who kind of had more of a level head amongst the team. I think there's only one scene where he has that classic anger we see from season 1.
Right.
Pretending that you don't know because of spoilers or anything, how do you personally see Superboy changing in this new season?
I can't even say because we've already recorded, well, probably 15, 16 episodes for season 3. And so I know exactly how he evolves. So I can't really answer that question for a lot of reasons, legal being number one. But no, it's, let me just put it this way. I really love the way Greg and the team have written Superboy. My biggest problem with season 2 was when I showed up to record and my girlfriend was with Lagoon Boy. Not cool. Not cool, Greg Weisman. Not cool. But we've moved on from that, and season 3 has lots of surprises in store.
Looks like they're going to get together, but we haven't seen her in the art so far. Speculation, speculation, Young Justice protest.
Notice my face says nothing. My face gives away nothing.
It's a true auteur right here. He's just a true actor. So, what's your favorite part about being a voice actor, just overall?
Probably the fact that, unlike my on-camera career, where basically what you see is what you get, and oftentimes I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a politician, I'm someone's dad. In voiceover, you can be anyone and anything. You know, and you get, you know, everybody's a character actor in voiceover. Again, like anything, I was a Viking beaver in Breadwinners on Nickelodeon. I mean, I'm Superman. I'm Superboy. You know, played animals, and I played a little old grandmother in a cartoon. You know, you can do anything, so it kind of feeds my maybe it's like an ADD problem or something that I just it's always something new. It's always fresh. It's always different, and it's fun. It's just fun. There's so many things I love about it. The people, the friends I've made, the fans. The great thing about fans of voiceover, especially when they recognize you, it's like they're the fans of voiceover in animation, games, anything like that. They've taken that extra step to go, I love that performance that somebody gave. Who is that? And they look you up to find your face on the internet. That's pretty cool. So I think we have some of the best fans, most loyal fans, and Young Justice is probably, in one instance, they're no exception, and then in another way, they are an exception because they're exceptional exception, because they're the ones who fought to have this show brought back. And you know, I can't thank everyone enough for, you know, voicing your support and you know, making this a reality, making season 3 a reality. Now we just have to get people to watch this show, season 3, and just fingers crossed for season 4. That's my goal, season 4.
He's such a good, you know, actor too. He just went through all of my last questions too, which is perfect. But I mean, lastly, if you have any clue at all, because this is what the fans really want to know, how can they watch the new season?
I believe it will be airing on Warner Brothers. I think they're starting a streaming service. Lionsgate started a streaming service called Comic-Con HQ. Hulu, Netflix, these things. Warner Brothers, I believe, is they'll be airing it on their streaming service. I can't confirm that. That's total speculation on my part. But I've heard that from other fans who have read that or seen that somewhere. And but that's all I really know. I don't know. And as soon as someone finds out, I would really like to. I'd like to know, because I'm really excited to see season 3 myself. Both my kids loved Young Justice, and I watched it. I really enjoyed it, liked it. And just like the fans, people don't realize that as an actor, I don't get to see it until you do. Because we always record the audio first, and then they animate to that. And we may see little bits and pieces, but until it airs, I don't get to see it either. So I always enjoy that just as much as any fan.
All right, yeah, and for more of that, you can definitely stay tuned to Cinepreston. We'll definitely have all the updates for when it'll actually be released and whatnot.
Yeah, and where it will be released, right? We're going to figure out where it's going to be released officially.
Definitely, we'll post that up too.
I am not the official word. at all. But I'm hoping.
We'll see. We're waiting. We're waiting eagerly. Thank you so much again,
Thank you.
Mr. North.
You bet, bud. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Hey,
it.